You've probably heard of Kaizen, right? That whole idea of getting just 1% better every single day. It sounds great, it sounds simple, but what if I told you that simple idea is exactly why most people fail when they try to use it? The truth about Kaizen is way more powerful, and it all starts with understanding what we're all getting wrong. Let's get into it.
Yeah, you heard that right. That's not a typo. Our source material shows that a staggering 95% of leaders completely miss the point of this philosophy. They're so focused on the small daily improvement, that little 1%, that they never actually build the engine that makes those improvements happen in the first place.
So, before we can really get what Kaizen is, we have to tear down what it is not. So, let's start right there with that big misconception. This slide really says it all. On one side, you have the myth that Kaizen is just a simple daily habit you decide to start doing. But the reality, over on the right, it's so much bigger. It's a self-reinforcing system. The improvements don't just magically appear because you want them to, they're the natural result of a process that's built for it.
Okay, so if it's not just a habit, then what exactly is it? Let's move on and build the right definition from the ground up.
So here it is, the official definition. It's a Japanese business philosophy. Now, there are two key parts here you've got to catch: philosophy and all employees. This isn't something that's just pushed down from the top, and it's not just a suggestion box for the folks on the front line. It's a way of thinking that has to be part of the entire organization's DNA.
And those two big ideas, philosophy and all employees, they are held up by these three pillars. Real Kaizen is a mindset that everyone shares, a culture that the company nurtures, and a system that makes it all work. You take away any one of those pillars, and the whole thing just falls apart.
So here's the crucial part. This is not about just asking people to try harder. It's about building systems that make getting better the path of least resistance. It's about creating a culture where every single person feels like it's their job to spot problems and fix them. That's what true ownership looks like.
All right, this all sounds really powerful in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you put it into practice? Let's get into the implementation blueprint.
Here we go. This is the 5-step framework, and I want you to pay close attention to the order here. It starts with culture, and it's powered by that cycle at the end. This is the roadmap.
Step 1 is everything. It's the foundation. You absolutely have to build the right culture first. That means truly giving teams the power to make changes. It means creating psychological safety so that trying something new and failing isn't punished. It's seen as the learning opportunity. If you don't have this fertile ground, nothing else is going to grow. Then steps 2, 3, and 4 are where that culture starts to produce real results. You put daily systems in place to make the work visible. You start tracking the metrics that actually move the needle, not just vanity numbers. And you make sure to recognize and reward the smart ideas that your teams come up with. This is how you turn a great idea into standard practice. And this is the engine that keeps the whole thing moving forward. The PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act. It's basically the scientific method for business. You come up with a goal, plan, you run a small experiment, do, you look at the results, check, and if it worked, you make it the new standard, act. And then you start the whole loop over again. Okay, so you might be thinking, is all this effort really worth it? Why would a company invest so much in this? Well, the proof is in the results. Let's look at the numbers. First off, let's talk about efficiency. Companies that do Kaizen the right way see a 25 to 50% increase. I mean, think about that. That is an absolutely game-changing level of improvement. But it's not just about the work. It's about the people doing the work. These same companies see employee turnover drop by around 20%. And that makes sense, right? When people feel engaged, when they feel empowered, they're happy. They stick around. And all of this leads to a 30% increase in time spent on value-added work. That means less time fighting fires, less time dealing with broken processes, and way more time actually creating value for your customers.
And look, these aren't just some abstract stats. We're talking about giants like Toyota, which basically perfected this philosophy, and Amazon, with its legendary obsession with getting better. For them, Kaizen isn't just some initiative, it's who they are. It's their culture.
Okay, let's bring this all home. If there's one central idea you take away from all of this, what should it be?
It all comes down to this right here. We've got to get past this idea of Kaizen as just a simple habit. It's not. It's a sustainable, compounding transformation. Every little improvement you make to the system builds on the last one, and that creates this upward spiral of excellence that becomes almost impossible for anyone else to copy.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about just trying to be 1% better. Instead, look around you, at your own work, in your own team, and ask yourself a much more powerful question. What broken system will you improve first?